Hello, my name is Carl Surrey, and this is another video tutorial for the Facebook group called Fans of Serif Software. This is a quick look at blending modes as found in PhotoPlus. I'm using version X8, which I recently upgraded to from X6. There are some slight alterations that I've noticed, and I will mention those a bit later. First, I'm going to start just with a fairly bland picture, and I've already done some preparation down here to speed things along. I've loaded a texture here which I will now make visible, and as you can see it obscures the image below. Now here in this section here there's called the blending modes. It is set to normal, which means that it's like 100% of the pixels, so it will not let anything through from what is underneath. Now if you click on this little downward arrow, you get the whole list of all the blending modes that are available. Now you can pick one individually, like say dissolve. Not a lot happens with in this particular case. And go down to up to multiply, and as you can see it is now allowing some of the image from below to show through. In the earlier versions, if you had a wheel mouse, this area would stay highlighted and you could use your wheel mouse to scroll up and down the list, but if I use it now, all it does is resize the image, which is not what I'm after. But in this new version of PhotoPlus, if you put the mouse cursor over the blending mode box, it will change colour slightly, and if you then use your mouse wheel button, you can then scroll through the different blending modes like you used to be able to before, but you do have to sort of keep your hand steady and keep the cursor over that little box. So as you can see, I'm slowly scrolling through all the different blending modes, and it's just a case of finding a blending mode that you like. Some blending modes will have quite a dramatic effect, and others you'd hardly even notice there was an effect at all. Like this one here, like difference. I mean, it's almost like an infrared type image. Let's go down a bit further. That's a bit psychedelic. That's hard mix. This one I quite like. Saturation. It sort of almost gives it like it's a painterly type feel to it. And then we must be near the end. Lightness is the last one, which really has no great effect on this particular image. I'll go back to saturation. Now, so that is that particular look at blending modes. I will then highlight the next layer which I made. Now this is just some text that I painted on the top. Again, you can scroll through the different blending modes. Oh, hang on. You have to highlight the layer that you want to change the blending mode to, because I was still on layer 1. I now have to come back and highlight layer 2, which is where the text is. So again, if I put the cursor over the box, use the wheel, so if I go down to dissolve, the text sort of dissolves around the edges. Now, if I remember rightly when I did this test, the different blending modes doesn't really have too much effect on the text, mainly because there's only one colour for it to work with, like black. So there's not a lot of difference between all of these. So I'll go back up to dissolve. Now I did this using the paintbrush tool, with the colour set on black, and I just randomly put in something silly, and So then I've then began to think, well, there is also blending modes within the brush tool as well. So I will now hide that, and I will go up to and highlight layer 3. Now layer 3 is currently blank. So if I go to the brush tool, which is down here in the tools toolbar, click on that. As you can see up here, there is also some blending modes. So you can, then they are exactly the same as they are with the layers. And this option is also available with the clone tool. See, it has blending modes. And if I remember rightly, the flood fill tool. Again, you've got all the different blending modes. So we'll go back to the brush tool. Now this time, I'm going to preset the blending mode for the brush tool to dissolve. So if I just paint on this blank layer, something random, here you go, look, hello. That is now, blended in the dissolve blending mode to start with. So if then you can still change the blending modes even more from here in the layer display area. Again, there's not a lot effect that most of these will have because they're only working with one color. Some blending modes work with certain colors better than others. So I'll go back to dissolve again. So with that on dissolve, it is even more dissolve around the edges than if I'd had it on normal, which is from the blending mode of the original brush that I use. Now the difference here is that you can't go back and pick another one, because if you say picked darken, it won't alter anything, but the next time you paint it will be done in the darken blending mode, which is not what we was after. So it is better, I'll just delete, undo those ones. So which is why using layers blending modes is probably better than using the blending modes directly from the tool itself. I hope that all made sense and everybody learned something from it. Thank you and goodbye.